Hi everyone. I thought I'd make a video talking about my OCs because that is definitely something I enjoy talking about. So, if you don't know already, these are my two main OCs, or I guess you could say my two only OCs, right? She's High and he's Florent, right? Or Flo. And yeah, this picture was made about 3 weeks ago, like maybe July 11th or something, because I was rushing to get the birthday art done for High, which was on July 12th. But like I had a flight the day after, so I was like really rushing it. And the reason why Florent is here too is because when it was his birthday on May 18th, I was actually too busy as well, so I skipped his birthday. So yeah, that's why they're both together here. This is sped up around times 15, and it's just the coloring and refining process, and I think the total video at full length is about maybe 3 hours, maybe a bit more than that. Alright, if you know me, I really hate coloring. My favorite part of drawing is line art, so this is usually a part that I'm not really fond of doing. However, I know it has to be done, but I usually just do it really quickly, maybe even a bit lazily, especially when it's for my own art. I just use multiply and that's about it. I use multiply and I blur everything. But yeah, you'll see they have like kind of new outfits here. At first, I was actually going to just draw them in their usual outfits. So for High, that would be something like a pink slip dress and a fur coat. And you can see it's basically still very similar. I didn't change much. And for Florent, it would have been like a ribbon shirt or something. And then I decided that's kind of boring, so let me do something new. So I kept the fur coat, I kept the dress part, and I kept the ribbon I had drawn for Florent. And instead, I went for this latexy chain vibe. I'm not really sure. High's outfit is not that different from her usual, but I gave her more chains because I thought it would be a cool detail I haven't really done before. I especially like the chain halo. It's not something I had planned, so it just came on the spot, so I was like quite happy with it. For Florent, it was a bit harder because it feels like it doesn't really suit him much, but I decided to lean into that, so he has little demon horns, and I think that they look quite cute on him because they don't suit him at all. But yeah, I ended up really liking these two outfits in the end, just because like I'm a sucker for matching outfits, so as long as my OCs match, I'm happy. But yeah, in terms of like the design of the outfits, it definitely leans more to High's aesthetic because the main component of her aesthetic is overlapping textiles that contrast with each other. So I mean, beyond the fact that's always like pink and black and white or red or something like that, but it's like the fact that there are softer or sheer materials. So think of things like the fur coat or like a sheer shirt or something that looks like cotton and soft, or pom-poms, things like that, and putting them in contrast to things like latex or patent leather. Yeah, that's about it. PVC and really shiny high gloss things. So that is essentially what her style is about. So the contrast of those two things, as you can see here, is definitely more her than him, because his style is much more classic usually. He doesn't really go for fur coats or anything. Actually, that's why he does not have a fur coat at all in his outfit. He's actually holding a pillow instead, because it's not something that he wears ever. But yeah, I still thought it was really cute on him. But yeah, I had a really fun time figuring out where to put all the chains, so you'll see some in really random places, like around his neck, even though there's like a ribbon. But I do like that contrast with something elegant and like soft, and then something heavier like the chain. I mean, like I said, I'm really into that. I also really like how it looked around High's coat, like the arms. I think that is something I might try to include in her designs a bit more frequently, but we'll see how that turns out. And of course, Florent still has like the flowers in his hair, because that's just like, it just needs to be there or else it doesn't look like him. But yeah, I actually usually have a bit of an issue drawing Florent's face and body. In general, men. So it usually takes a bit more time for me to like color and sketch him out compared to her. She's really easy. But I do like how he turned out here, especially his mouth, because I think I'm a bit particular with men's mouths, so they need to look like a very specific way or they like bother me. Alright? But yeah, I think it turned out good. I think in terms of video content, I said I don't really want to make art specifically because I kind of do that everywhere else, and I want this channel to be a place where I can share all my interests. But now and then's okay, especially if it gives me the opportunity to talk about my characters, which is basically the main thing I'm interested in. You know, how some artists, they're really into art first and then characters second. I'm the opposite. I'm much more into characters, and then art is just a tool to focus on my characters, right? Just same with writing. I like writing too, except that's a bit more daunting to show, so maybe one day. But yeah, so if you don't know much about my OCs, these are my childhood friend OCs who are now dating. Alright, so they are in love, they are a couple, which I'm happy about. And they are always together no matter what alternate universe this is. But this one right here is canon because it's a birthday art, right? But to give you a bit more info about them, she is quite moody and temperamental and the like, while he is much more happy-go-lucky, positive, but he still has some issues on his own, just not as obvious. Quick note just to say, what you're seeing here is the paint over process. So after coloring lazily with the multiply tool, not saying that people who use multiply are lazy, but I'm saying I usually do it lazily. I usually merge all my layers because I hate keeping them, and I start painting over the art directly to fix all the areas that might not look very polished, or to add a bit more shading. And this is usually done on the skin, on her hair, like I'm doing now, what a coincidence, and also on cloth textiles, especially when it comes to folds. I really feel like it adds a bit more, and I much rather work by painting over stuff than doing it under line art. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. Anyway, as I was saying, she is much more like moody and he is more happy-go-lucky, but specifically they're very contrasting characters when you first look at them, but the more you know them, the more similar they are. Like, they have a lot of the same interests, the same similar approaches to things, and they are pretty much informed by each other since they have been together for so long as friends and stuff like that. In their lore, if you could call it that, they've been together as friends. Like, they met when they were about 7 years old. They're like the same age. He's maybe like 2 months older, and that's about it. And so a lot of their interests are similar. A lot of their facial expressions are similar, although I cannot really show that. But you know, like the way people speak, their gestures are similar too. Yeah, you could tell that they're like long time like partners, not even romantic partners, like just people who know each other, first of all. Right? But when approaching them at first, he definitely seems like more outgoing, more friendly, generally a nicer person than she is, because she is more withdrawn and passive. And not passive in a way where she's shy or timid, but more so passive in the sense that she doesn't really want to take action and just witnesses things, and doesn't really take part in the conversation without being invited in, because she's very content being outside. What you see now is me trying to do the latex texture on their outfit. This is the usual method I do, which is using, I think it's like the dodge layer in pink and like shaping it out. However, recently, and by recently I mean like the past 2 years, I haven't been entirely satisfied by it, so you can see I'm like doing it over and over again. And I think it does convey the latex vibe, but it's not enough for me. And I think what you're seeing here is me testing it out and seeing what I can do. One of the main reasons why I was struggling with it is because the lighting is predominantly pink, but when you look at latex, like usually has sharp white colors and there's a lot more contrasting tones. So that is what I was doing right here. I'm testing it out, trying to see if I can make it look a bit more shiny, a bit more latexy, and I do think it looks pretty good, the final result. Except I added these little pink things that I'm adding in here because I felt like it would match the picture a bit more like my style. There's got to be like some pink in there, I don't know, I can't just leave it like black and gray or something like that. But yeah, that's probably why this like picture took a long time to color, because usually I just go through coloring pretty quickly. But I'm glad I spent the time to work on this, even though I was rushing to post it and go, because it was like almost their birthday, or her birthday rather, and I was like really stressed on time because I had so much to do like 3 weeks ago. But it's okay, now I know how to do it, and maybe I'll try it more often in the future or something like that. But yeah, I'm just adding the little finishing details now, and yeah, I hope that maybe I'll make more videos about like speed paints with me just like rambling on top of them. Maybe about OCs, maybe about something else. I don't really have much important to say, honestly, so anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching the video and listening to me ramble, and I'll see you guys soon because I just got my nails done again. I just need to edit the video. Alright, bye!